Hi, I'm Luce. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be going through my March TBR. I feel like I said this when I did my February TBR, which feels like 2 days ago. I can't believe that we are almost in March. That's terrifying. Terrifying for a multitude of reasons, because number one, the year's going so quickly, but also my birthday is the 1st of March. So I truly cannot believe that my birthday is like so close. But yeah, March is coming. So generally what I like to do, because like I said, my birthday is in March, I try and curate my TBR to be like the most juicy TBR ever for March. I always want to have like a really good reading month for my birthday month. So I'm hoping that my TBR will end up looking that way, because we are once again doing TBR jar mug situation. I am also going to go through and add some more prompts for next month, because I feel like I don't have enough. I'm going to pick 8 books, which I think I did 8 books last month. Anyone also did watch my February TBR, I was talking about the kind of reading slump that I was in towards the end of last year and into the beginning of this year. I do think we are definitely on the way out, because I have read quite a few books in February and also a lot of really good books. So yeah, I'm hoping that March is going to be absolutely amazing for reading. I also wanted to mention my hair. I finally got my hair done. I didn't get my hair done for like maybe 6 months, and she was looking a little bit rough. I had roots that were like maybe this long. I hadn't had a haircut in like 6 months. So she's finally done. We've added some pink into her and I absolutely love it. My fringe is looking a bit funky today because I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to be styling her. But yeah, this is my new hair. I hope you enjoy her and her little showcase here. Let's get into pulling the prompt for my TBR. Okay, gotta give her a good shuffle. I have some ideas. I always have ideas of like what I want specifically to be on my TBR, but like, you know, I've got some like pretty firm ideas of stuff I want to read this month. So if I can't fit them in to any of the prompts that I get, I'll do a little section at the end of the video, which is like other things I want to read. But in terms of the first prompt, let's go for this. Ooh, are we going to be able to do the autofocus today? No, we're not. Of course we're not, because why would I know my camera settings? It says sprayed edges, which is like so broad because I don't think you can really tell, to be fair, with like my lighting, but like this entire, ooh, no, this skinny shelf here is all books with sprayed edges. These are a lot of my like Illumicrate and Fairy Loot editions. And then I just have other miscellaneous ones throughout my shelves as well. So I have an insane amount of options. Let me just look at my TBR carts. Okay, I've given myself 3 options and I genuinely at this point do not know which I'm going to choose. So the first one I have is The Hemlock Queen by Hannah Whitten. This is the sequel to The Foxglove King, which I have read twice now. I read originally back when it came out in like, was it like 2022 maybe? And then I reread it in January of this year, and I love the first book, so I really want to continue on with the series. And this is the Fairy Loot edition, so it obviously has the sprayed edges. Then this is a very recent addition to my TBR. This was from the, I think it was January's Smut and Sip book, and it is Nightshade by Autumn Woods. I have been just really, I don't know, really intrigued by this book. This beautiful edition is kind of just like reignited that, so this is also a contender. And then the last one is a reread, but a reread of a book that I gave 5 stars and loved, which is Jade City by Fonda Lee. I don't know what it is, but I have just had the strongest urge to reread this and then continue on with the series at the moment, because again, I read this many years ago. I read this basically when I got my Illumicrate editions, which I don't know, 2021. I read this back in 2021 and it's 2026. So that means I've been in the middle of this series technically for that long. Oh, and then obviously it does have, it's a more kind of like subtle sprayed edge on this one. Like it's not like the full color or anything, but I really like them. I actually think I'm going to go with Jade City, because I've been like thinking about this book, like genuinely at random points during the day this book will come to my mind, and so I feel like it's a sign for me to reread it and carry on with the series. So yeah, we're gonna put Jade City by Fonda Lee on the TBR. Okay, prompt 2. let's do, oh, this one. Oh, I have a Danmei. I was realistically going to say I only have like one option here, but I actually think I'm going to go with a different one than came to my original thought. That was the worst sentence I've ever said. I'll go get the book. So originally my thought was to go for Case File Compendium Volume 3 because I did actually technically have that on my TBR for last month. Well, I had like 2 or 3 and I read 2 but not 3. Anyway, I was thinking Case File Compendium. I never finished Heaven Official's Blessing. And I love Heaven Official's Blessing. This is volume 7, so I have 2 more volumes to read. And yeah, I never finished this series, which is like crazy to me because like I said, I absolutely adored all the other volumes. So I'm gonna go for this one. If you haven't watched my channel before, you probably haven't heard me kind of rave about this series, but it is a Danmei series. Also Danmei, actually, I didn't explain that for anyone who doesn't know. Danmei is Chinese boys love novels, and they have illustrations in them, which is one of my favorite things about this particular genre of book. But this one follows our 2 main characters, one who is one of the ghost kings and the other one who is a kind of heavenly official, a kind of godly figure, I guess. And it is a slow burn yearning romance between the 2 of them. And like I said, I love this series. I absolutely devoured the rest of the volumes. So yeah, volume 7 of Heaven Official's Blessing on the TBR. Prompt number 3. I'm gonna go for this one. This is like a thicker piece of paper. Oh, just an audiobook. See, I like how vague that is, but I also absolutely hate how vague that is. Okay, so I checked on Spotify and I can listen to this audiobook included in my like Spotify premium hours. So I'm gonna go with Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This is Stephanie Garber's adult debut. I'm gonna be real, I don't really know anything about the synopsis of this. The only reason I'm interested in reading it is because I love Stephanie Garber's YA. So I'm kind of just hoping that I enjoy this as much. But this is quite a short one as well. I think the audiobook was like 10 hours on Spotify and the actual book is like just over 300 pages. I'm hoping this is going to be like a kind of quick, fun time. But like I said, do I want to know anything about this? So the tiny little blurb, because I don't really want to like look properly into the synopsis, but the little blurb at the bottom says it fuses spellbinding Hollywood secrets with a cinematic mystery. So sounds like something that I do have the potential to really enjoy. So far, I would say the TBR, she's looking good. She's looking kind of stacked so far. Let's go for this one. Horror / spooky. Okay, I'm not in the mood for horror right now. I will say that. And I don't know that I'm really in the mood for a thriller. But I think this might potentially count, okay? I am twisting it slightly, but it's my TBR and it's also my birthday month, so like, you know, it's fine. I really want to read Sick Bargain by Nordica Night. I don't have it physically, I have it on my Kindle, so I'll put a picture up here. But this is a dark romance and I believe it seems to take place in some kind of like haunted asylum, maybe? I think for my own TBR that I'm curating, I think it counts. Yeah, I'm like reading the synopsis and like, number one, I don't really understand what's going on from the synopsis, but it's giving dark, it's giving spooky, and it's not horror, but like, well, I don't know, some people class dark romance as horror, so maybe. But yeah, I'm gonna put Sick Bargain by Nordica Night as book 4 on my TBR. Okay, number 5. I keep doing this and I don't think it's really mixing them very well, but it's fun to do. Prompt number 5. Just a paperback book. I've had 2 so vague prompts, which again, it's nice, but when I'm in the mood where I don't really know what I want to read, it's kind of difficult. Just a paperback book. Any paperback. I have 2 vastly different options for this one. So the first one I have is The World's Changed by Bell Hooks. This is a feminist non-fiction book. It's on my topics to read for the year and it's really short. I don't know, I have this kind of on the brain at the moment. And then the other one, which is like I said, a complete switch from that. I have Lady of Embers by Melissa K. Rorick. This is book 4 in the Lady of Darkness series. I read book 3 in February and I really, really loved it. And these books always leave off on an ending that genuinely I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. So I do really want to continue on with this series. I'm like, do I read like intellectual feminism, or do I read silly fun romantasy? And it's not silly or fun, but like, you know. And I'm gonna go with the romantasy, actually. I'm so in the mood to continue on with this series at the moment. I'm very curious if I'm gonna get any more like specific type prompts this month or from, because I feel like everything that I've got so far, all 5, have been very vague. They've either been like the format or the genre. So let's see what we get for number 6. A queer book. I definitely got this last month, but queer book is like a really easy one for me to fulfill. And actually, I know exactly what I want to read for this one. Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake. This is the kind of companion sequel to Delilah Green Doesn't Care, which was one of my favourite books of 2024, and it's also, I think, my favourite sapphic romance, and this is a whole trilogy of sapphic romances. This is another book that is on my top books to read in 2026, so it also should be a priority for me. Honestly, I'm just excited to read it because of how much I love Delilah Green. And this is also, one of the main characters is Delilah's stepsister, and I'm really excited to see kind of her romance in this, and I believe this is also like gay or like bisexual awakening, which I also really love in my queer romance books. Okay, 2 more to go. I still definitely do have some books that I want to read this month that haven't come up. Actually, oh, now I'm thinking about it, one would have actually been perfect for queer book, but it's fine, I'm gonna be reading that book regardless. So prompt number 7, we have got 5-star prediction. Well, now I'm going to be putting in the book that I was just talking about, which is Hunt the Villain by Rena Kent. Again, I obviously don't have a copy of it. It's not out yet, so she's going right here. But this is the second book in the, I think it's the Villains trilogy. The first one is Kiss the Villain, which was a controversial book when it came out last year. A lot of people hated it. I personally loved it. I gave it 5 stars. So book 2 is a 5-star prediction for me. I love Rena Kent. Again, if you're not new to my channel, then this is not surprising news. I talk about Rena Kent all the time. But yeah, Hunt the Villain, I am just absolutely desperate to read. I have been so excited to read it since I read Kiss the Villain last year, which I think it also came out in March of last year. This one is a dark, I think it's hate to love, rivals to love romance. I don't really know the tropes. I know the characters in it. That's it. That's all I needed to know, and that it was written by Rena. So yeah, Hunt the Villain is going on for my 5-star prediction. And then we have the last prompt. So we're gonna go with this one. Okay, a book that I don't know much about. That's most books, to be honest. I really don't look too much into the synopsis of books. So let me have a look at some books that I don't know fucking anything about. Okay, actually, I thought this was going to take a little bit longer. I knew the one I actually wanted to read immediately when I saw it. And this is Dawn of the Firebird by Sarah Mughal Rana. This I talked about in my book haul that I think was the last video that I posted actually, that I genuinely know nothing about this book. I just want to read it because I am obsessed with this edition. Like, this is a Fairy Loot edition, and it's, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful books I have ever fucking seen. So I wanted to read it and like prioritize it purely because of that. I actually don't think I'm going to read like any of the synopsis. I think I'm going to put this on and just literally go into it blind. Okay, so those are all the 8 books that have been picked by my TBR jar. I do have a couple of books that I do also want to read that I'm going to just kind of like throw in here at the end. The first one is City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. I have been rereading the Shadowhunter series. I put Clockwork Angel on my February TBR. I've reread the entire trilogy in February, so it is obviously time for me to continue on then with the Mortal Instruments. So yeah, I have book 4 in the Mortal Instruments, City of Fallen Angels. Okay, and then a couple of books that I don't have physical copies of. I really want to read Dungeon Crawler Carl, because so many people that I follow have been reading this series and loving it, and I want to know what the hype is about. I want to see what's going on with this silly little book. So yeah, I have it on my Kindle, but I think this is one that I'm probably gonna listen to the audiobook of, because I've heard the audiobooks are really good. And then we have 2 romance books. One I have been putting on my TBR for fucking ages. So do I actually think that I'm gonna finally read this book? I don't know. I really don't know. But we'll see. It's Pucking Sweet by Emily Rath. I do actually have a physical copy of this book, but I'm gonna be real, I can't be bothered to go get it. So we're putting a picture here. This is the 3rd book in the Jacksonville Rays series. This is a poly MMF romance. I did start this book. I am 18% of the way through, and I really liked it. I love this series. I love Emily Rath, but I just wasn't in the mood for it when I picked it up before, and that's kind of like almost like put me off carrying on, because even though I know that this is a book that I want to read and that I'm going to enjoy, because I like soft DNF'd it before, I have like a mental thing in my head, but I want to get over it because I do really want to read it. And then the last one I have is a taboo dark romance, and that is Heavy by M.L. Burns. This one is, I believe, between a step uncle and a step niece. So taboo, it's kind of giving, I've not read Credence by Penelope Douglas, but it's kind of giving a little bit of Credence. But I've just heard really good things about M.L. Burns in general, and so I wanted to try it out. And the other series that she has, I believe, is like a more kind of paranormal type romance series, which I don't know if I'm like as much in the mood for right now, so I wanted to give this one a go. Also just gonna like tack on the ante, because I think I used to do this last year. Things that I want to like watch and also play at the moment, because I am number one, a very big gamer. That is like my other kind of hobby outside of reading, but I'm also definitely in the mood to watch things at the moment. I definitely had a kind of like watching slump after Heated Rivalry. I didn't want to watch anything but Heated Rivalry, and I didn't. I watched Heated Rivalry, I think I've watched it 10 times now. I'm finally watching other things. So the first thing that I'm currently watching, I'm watching The Pitt, which is a HBO show. I have actually watched season 1 twice, and season 2 is the one that is currently airing, so I'm going to be watching that kind of as it comes out. I am obsessed with this show. I really did not think that a medical kind of drama show was going to be for me, because typically I actually, like, historically I've been really squeamish, so like I can't watch anything medically or anything gory on TV. But for some reason, I can handle it for the most part with this show. There's been like maybe like 3 specific bits where I've had to like kind of watch like this. But I love this medical drama show. So yeah, The Pitt is definitely one that I'm going to be, well, I'm going to rewatch what's out of season 2, and then I'm going to carry on watching it. I've also been rewatching The Vampire Diaries as like a kind of like silly fun kind of like background show, so I'm gonna continue on with watching The Vampire Diaries. And then also I am back watching anime again. I had a little bit of a break, but I am back, so I need to catch up with Jujutsu Kaisen. That's like my kind of main priority. I'm also, this is a rewatch for me, but I am watching Psycho Pass with one of my friends. It's his first time watching, so I'm gonna be doing that. And then the one, I mean, I'm excited for Jujutsu Kaisen, don't get me wrong, but I am like so excited to start this anime, and I do not really know how to pronounce it. I think it's called Gachi Akuta. That's like the really white way of pronouncing it for sure. Yeah, I have been seeing so many TikToks of this anime, and it has made me so excited. So excited to watch it. I don't really know much about it. I just kind of know the vibe, and so yeah, I want to watch that. And then in terms of stuff I want to play, I am back in my Stardew Valley obsession. I have been playing so much Stardew Valley at the moment, so that's obviously going to be on there. I've also been playing Baldur's Gate. I'm doing a kind of like replay through with like a new character and stuff, so I'm going to be playing Baldur's Gate as well. And then I am in the mood to finally play Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Dragon Age is like one of my favorite video game series of all time. Dragon Age 2 is probably like my number 1. But I've been scared to play the Veilguard because of reviews, but I think it's finally time. But yeah, that is my TBR and also my TBW and TBP, I guess, for March. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a like, subscribe if you feel like it, and hopefully I'll see you in a new video again soon. Bye!